Well, I just want to do fact update or correction or whatever because I heard that Zero Dark Tony is some kind of mental facility. But, well, I'm not going to really say that until I know for sure. And this is coming from the Dant. It does seem legit. He's at some kind of facility. I've done the, I think, proper redactions, but that apparently is where he is. He's at some kind of mental health facility. And there we go. And again, presumably Nora and him will have some kind of meeting soon. So will you have it through a Zoom call or whatever? Don't know. But there we are for the record, just to keep things factual. Okay, now let's get into the Nora dilemma.
Not just for what we're coming here for, but just for overall, because you guys hold a massive the purse strings of all our infrastructure.
Very true.
We just want a little bit more, no rubber stamping. We don't want rubber stamping, but we want it prevented. Before it gets on the agenda,
needs to be said.
Yeah, I just wanted to, if we could really talk.
Here's Laura.
We could really just have a record.
I just want to get that on the record, and I don't want to clip audit. She went into, and again, I'm not here to mock her, although there is going to have to be some mockery because this is just becoming a complete clown circle nonsense where Nora's fans are like, "Go audits! Go audits!" over and over again in the chat. And by the way, Nora says, "There will be no spamming here." Oh, by spamming is if you put free Palestine, that is not welcome. That's spamming, guys. You keep putting free Palestine, get out of here. Get rid of that. I will not allow it in my chats. But if you just say, "Oh, is the most beautiful," oh my God, that's not spam. That's goods. And again, want to be super accurate. I did cut off Nora just cursing. I don't. Well, we'll get into it. I just want the record to show that Nora repeatedly, this is not the first time, if you just listen to her, she does it a lot, called Lara Laura. But you heard it yourself, Laura. So Nora goes on and on. I don't care if you have a speech impediment, DOAs. You said Lara. If you don't say Lara, that's a patriarchy. You're evil. Go ahead. You go to jail now. But Nora, you said Laura. That's different. I'm Nora's. And there we go. So the other video was like speculating about where the fandom will go with Aaron. And good or bad, he does. I mean, it's really sad that even the Trump cult is kind of disintegrating and breaking up. And people who were always pro MAGA are like, I'm disappointed. I'm backing away. I don't want to support this anymore. I'm going to walk away. Like Candace Owens has been official, like MAGA is gone. Like whatever MAGA used to be or could have been, it's over. She's still maintaining the ideology, America first, but she's like, no, Trump is not doing that. So they're on the search for a more pure fascism. And, good luck with that. But even though he's losing support, Aaron is probably going to maintain some kind of, fanatical hold on his audience. So to be fair to Nora, listen, she doesn't have many choices, right? She's alienated the Aaron audience. She alienated the DOA audience. She alienated the MAGA audience. And for the, I hate to be brutal, but the, woke people who are not totally dumb, she's not really a woke actor. I mean, this is her thing. She's looking at Audit LA and Laura. So Nora's activism is looking at their activism and saying, that's a warrior. That's a warrior. There you goes. And you're like, well, if showing up at these council meetings is so important, you think, isn't Nora going to go to her council meeting? Well, no, for two reasons. I mean, good or bad, at least Audit LA, you can give some plausibility. Although, it is what it is. This is just a clown show. There's nothing real going on here. But, Scientology is huge in LA. Scientology is not huge in Portland, right? There wouldn't be much of a point of Nora going there because Scientology is there, but it's not much of a threat. You might also think that's curious for a woman who's like fighting Scientology. Why are you going to where Scientology is really weak? Like, what are you going to do? Is she going to drive down to LA? No, she's not going to do that either. So it's like, oh, so she's cynically looking at other people's activism and saying that's activist. But I cut off Audit LA a little bit. But again, I mean, whether the strategy does make sense, I think it's not a bad one. I mean, you should go where you can to attack and criticize Scientology. That's fine. But really, I mean, this approach is just going to hit a brick wall. I mean, she did a thing where it's like, listen, I want you guys to be the best public works committee of all times. I really do. I think you have the potentials. I mean, it's like, none of that makes any sense. It's pretty clear as day that this committee, like a lot of political bodies, are being overwhelmed with bribes. Right? Scientology has too much influence, has too much money. It just pays off to, be whatever, rubber stamp things. Audit LA saying, guys, I think it could be a really great public works stuff. I think you have potentials. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. Unless you have real money and real power and real influence, they're not going to listen. They're not going to care. I mean, what's Nora's big triumph? Oh, they got their own little day at the Blue Building. And that's great because Scientology does not have this de facto monopoly where they control those streets, right? But that has nothing to do with Scientology. I support that anyway, right? Private corporations should not be taking over public streets. That's an issue anyway. Period. That has nothing to do with Scientology. That's a good principle anyway. So yeah, good work there. But that's kind of like pathology, right? But really, Nora's just keeps pumping Audit LA. Why? Because that's it. She has lost all these other audiences, all these other fans. They're incredibly suspicious of her. And of course, Audit LA is like, I love Laura. I love Laura. I love, whatever. And it's like, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, story with Laura, Laura, whoever, her name doesn't matter. It's going to be the same story. She tried and failed to be a rock star, right? Live the Hollywood life taking drugs, and it's like nobody wants to buy her music. She's not very popular. She's just a local artist. She does some shows. She's only, quote, doing activism because she has nothing else. It's not because she's really against Scientology. It's just become the only thing that gets her some attention, gets her some fame, and gets her some money. She even said this out loud, guys. She had a conversation with Audit LA saying, yes, I'm owed the money. Guys, you give me the money. I'm a rock star. I get stuff. Okay. And Audit LA, being wise, was like, we're not supposed to say that. And she was just laughing nervously as Lara just laid it all out that, yeah, this is just a con job. Now, if it does good stuff, great. But that's really not the purpose, right? If Audit LA is serious, she has to run for public office. She needs to put these other people up for public office, and then they can change things. But the problem is, it's like, most of these people are like, who's going to vote for them? Woolly Boy? Again, people need to differentiate between internet fame and real fame, right? Yes, Streets LA is making tons of money, right? And he's a locally known activist, but he's not from LA, guys. He's not even native to the city. He's just what he is. He's just a celebrity who came from New York, does some good stuff here and there, monitoring the police. But it's not like he's super popular. He's not Che Guevara here. It's like he's going to reach a certain limit in terms of popularity, and that is where we are, right? He's going to have a certain limited popularity. I also love, by the way, Streets LA was at this council meeting, and Nora just ignores him because he's a man and he's tied to Aaron. So even this whole thing is phony from the beginning, saying, guys, I don't agree with Lara or Audit LA on everything, but for the common cause, we will... No, even Streets LA. Why? Because Streets LA made fun of Nora crying all the time, which she does for the money. So it's like, this is just clown buffoonery. Like, this is just going to be the new triad. Oh, now Lara, Audit LA, and Nora will save us. No, I mean, it's just like three grifters coming together. It's nothing complicated here, guys. Now, again, you could say DOA is a lot worse, and that's for the Nora fandom. They're just united in their hatred of DOA. And at least the Nora fans have more consistency, because the Nora fans were telling Nora when Nora was pro-DOA, which is apparently now ancient history. It happened 1,000 years ago. This is like this year. Remember, early this year, she was still on DOA's side, defending him, and put up a ton of videos, right? Remember the helicopter video? Remember that? Oh, now that's consigned to the loony bin, like old Soviet history. It's the archives, and we're going to burn that. That never happened. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So that's all Nora's doing. She's placating the anti-DOA people in her own fandom. But it's like, well, the problem's going to become like, well, what if DOA has a good protest or has a good idea? No, we're not going to do that. So we're not fighting Scientology. We are just placating a certain fandom, which is super small, right? This is not a large channel. It's got like 13,000 on one channel, 2,000 some people on another channel. So if you move forward, right, if you got to, you're going to have to make some, unfortunately, some alliances with people even you don't like, right? There's some good LA people. There's some good LA protesters, but a lot of it is like, it's kind of questionable. But good or bad, DOA has put out some pretty good, strong anti-Scientology videos. Again, you cannot trust the guy, but some of the stuff on the channel is pretty good. So it's like, okay, well, if it's done well, it's well researched. Same thing with Audit LA. I mean, really, is spending a day eating hot dogs and talking to the police really going to stop Scientology? Yeah, well, it's a protest. Father's Day, whatever. Little things count. Little things count. But that's taking a principled stance. Like, even if you don't like the people, or like, this is kind of lame. For the anti-Scientology cause, you got to it's going to be step by step, but not Nora. No, the first rule is, do you love Nora? Are you part of my Nora cult? Are you one of the lady mods? And the answer is, well, no. And you are not welcome, sir. We're here to love audits. We're here to love me's. We're here to love T and Lara. Lara, who cares? You love the four ladies, the three ladies. Who cares, okay? The old cult with DOA didn't work. We're having a new cult now. Okay, right. But where are we going exactly? Nora looking at female activists doing activism, drinking soda. There we go. The Great Revolution continues.